air. It's going to take him a long time to get anywhere by ground. He does have these queens in here, but the Hydralisks are just all over the place. He has gotten up a number of Mutalisks and Corruptors as well, so they are going to be able to take on those carriers, and the Mutalisks might be able to try to take out the Phoenix if they can get a good, decent surround on them. The Phoenix is going to try to micro a little bit here. I do see these Mutalisks finally. Again, the Phoenix just so fast. Movement speed of 4.25 compared to the 3.75 of Mutalisk. Plus the Mutalisk only have the 3 range, whereas the Phoenix do have that the 4 range. So you can do some good micro with these Phoenix. I do see this gold expansion going up. So he's now on 4 bases. I really need to do something about this this gold or this the third over here before he gets too far ahead. If you look at the income tab, he's at 1800 compared to just my 700. I did take out these rocks, so I'm going to try to prepare my own third. Again, just did not expand very quickly in this game, sort of stayed back. But I have been able to continuously pump out more and more carriers here. I have cut my gateway unit production. I just have these 3 warp gates. So if he pushes out with this this army and he's able to focus down those carriers, I am going to be shit out of luck. He does not have many Corruptors right now. So I'd like to see maybe a few more Corruptors rather than those Mutalisks, as the Corruptors are going to do much more damage, 20 damage against those massive carriers. Plus with the Corruption skill, you can really focus down those carriers. If we look, he is producing another 9 Mutalisks. I'm getting out my air weapon level 2. So if we look at the Interceptors now doing 6 damage with 2 attacks, so 12 damage apiece. And then we have 4 Interceptors per carrier here. So going to be quite a bit of damage that the air attack is going to give each of those Interceptors. Just doing more scouting with the Phoenix here. Did a little bit of harass at the gold here. Sorry I missed that. I did take the queen down almost all the way. And now he's going to push in at my third here. He pushes in separately with his air and with his ground, which I don't think is a good idea. I'm able to take down most of this air. He's not able to focus down the carrier. And then as he moves in against my my natural here, I'm going to be able to pull back with these carriers and should be able to defend this. That transfer with the probes here, a little bit ill-advised. So going to push in here. Need to use my Phoenix to pick up these Hydralisks, try to reduce the damage that the Hydralisks do against these carriers, as they are going to try to focus them down. One carrier does go down, but just look at the amount of damage. Once you get out this many carriers, they just rip through these Hydralisk armies. I did try to use this high ground. Look at the multiple levels on Steps of War here, where you can position your carriers up here, and if the Zerg player does not have sight, then he's not going to be able to attack. Moving out more Phoenix here, just around the map, going to try to keep the constant pressure going. I did try to push at the gold expansion here. I did feel like I was a little bit behind base-wise. I need to really try to focus down these Hydralisks though, as he is doing a great job in reinforcing with these Hydralisks, able to focus down 3 of my carriers right now. So a huge misplay on my part. I probably should have launched the Interceptors from over here. That way I could have retreated over this this gaping chasm, and the Hydralisks would not have been able to follow. So really need to make sure that I'm attacking from the right angles with these carriers and really using the map to my advantage. He does have about a nice group of Hydralisks right now. His army is actually bigger than mine. I'm producing just off the 2 Stargates. If we look, I have so much gas, and once I get this third saturated, as I am producing probes, or at least I should be here, I'm going to be swimming in the money, probably get up a few more Stargates, and also need to start working on more and more upgrades, chrono boosting those out. As you see, my chrono boost getting a little bit high here. Another thing I did not do, so we see another attack here, and again, going to try to micro back these carriers as soon as their shields are down, as all the damage against the shields is wasted if you're able to win the battle and regen those shields. So again, trying to focus down these carriers. I'm pushing them back best I can as soon as they get focused down, and now I've got 5 carriers on the field. He's just throwing plenty of Hydralisks my way, 21 kills for 1 carrier there, and able to take down those Hydralisks with the help of the different levels on Steps of War. Again, going to try to push at this gold expansion. He's got another 24 Hydralisks in production, but hopefully I'm able to take this down before he gets those over here. This time I did learn my lesson a little bit, so attacking from this left side. I also brought a few Zealots to try to soak up some damage from the Hydralisk. If they are attack moving, they will just start on the Zealots there. And now I'm going to try to pull back here. I do want to try to launch these Interceptors and then pull back over this this hole. But it looks like he did get out an Infestor, and he's going to use Fungal Growth to keep my carrier from moving. So a good decision on his part. He's going to be able to focus down at least one carrier at a time with those Fungal Growths. I'm just pumping out more and more carriers. I finally do decide to get up a third Stargate because look at my money right now, at about 1,000 and 1,800. So I do need to spend this gas as much as I can. Could perhaps get out a few sentries, maybe to get some force fields going, to try to push back those Hydralisks to cut the army in half if they do engage the carriers. So that would have been a smart move in this game. At the moment, I am just pushing out more and more carriers, though I don't have any more creating right now. Need to get those up and going 3 at a time now. I'm pushing out more of the upgrades. I'll finally have my third level 3, or my third weapon upgrade. I did scout this gold expansion with a Phoenix that's been darting around the map, so I want to make sure to take that down. One bad thing about the Hydralisk army is it's going to be a little bit slow here to react to any sort of attacks. So again, just using the fact that this is very close air distance, but a lot of interesting terrain here really makes it difficult for the ground armies to go around from one spot to another. Again, trying to chrono boost, decide to throw up a fourth Stargate, really just pumping out more and more carriers right now. I feel like I do have 6 carriers on the field, one with 28 kills. So he's looks like an executioner right now. And just going to try to position here, poking at this army. My hope with this attack here is to launch the interceptors and try to do as much damage as I can and be able to pull back over this ridge if I do get in trouble. He's trying to focus down the one carrier that did get fungal growth, and he's able to do a good job doing that. I'm going to just try to poke in here and keep launching interceptors and then pull back. Again, interceptors are pretty cheap there. I don't mind losing them if I am able to take down the Hydralisk army there. He is getting up a Hive as well as Neural Parasite. So did not notice the Neural Parasite. That's going to be another good reaction. Anytime somebody's going for massive units, Thors, Colossi, carriers, the Neural Parasite is really able to even up the score. Just 2 Neural Parasites right now can make it all these Hydralisks and 2 carriers versus my 3 carriers, and it's just going to decimate this carrier army. I'm now pushing out 4 carriers at a time using Chrono Boost off of all 3 of these Nexus, so doing a good job keeping my Chrono low and pushing out way too many carriers for him to deal with at this point. He is going to have to push in at some point, or maybe get up some more Corruptors. Not really sure about this Hydralisk and Infestor army. He cannot see up here until he gets up this ramp. I did have my carriers a little bit split here, which is not too bad. I have some to the north, some in the middle, and some to the south. Going to do a good job surrounding as I do kite with this middle group. The back group is just going to demolish the Hydralisks as much as they're able to. Again, a lot of these Hydralisks just focusing down the Interceptors right now. He did finally try to focus down a carrier, but as the Hydralisk numbers dwindle, he's just not able to focus down as fast as he could at the very start of the fight. Zergling's working on this Nexus, and it's a smart move on his part, as that was one of my only sources of income. This is almost about mined out. And now off these 3 bases, with all this money, I just need to keep pumping out 4 carriers at a time. If you look at the unit counting station, we've got these 6 carriers. Again, going after this gold. It's almost mined out, so not really sure why I'm going after this here. I could probably go after this one again. I'm going to do a little bit of a reinforce here. This guy is going to start attacking the Hydralisk in the back, so split carriers not too bad, as it's just really confusing for the Zerg player. Interceptors coming every which way. I'm going to be able to micro best I can, though still losing way more carriers than I'd like to. But eventually going to come out on top here. If you look at the production, he's got 18 more Hydralisks coming. I do have more and more carriers coming to reinforce here. Do have 6 carriers still, which seems to be the number where you're able to take on pretty much any army is going to be able to throw at me. Again, going to use these multiple levels and firing these interceptors from over this airspace. So if he wants to attack with his Hydralisk, he's got to get right up close or down here. So out come the Hydralisk. Looks like he's got them all rallied. He's going to try to attack all at once. I need to pull this carrier back. Again, trying to get better at my micro as this game goes along. And at this point, I think I decide that I'm going to make it into his main And I did see earlier on, he had all of his important buildings kind of clustered here in his main, like many Zerg do, and I'm going to go for this Hydralisk Den. So it looks like he's going to move his Hydralisk instead of meeting my carriers up there. Actually, he's a little bit indecisive about where he's going with these Hydralisks. I am able to fire these interceptors, and the Hydralisks are only going to be able to attack 4 or 5 at a time as they get range on these. So I'm going to micro back these carriers anytime they're being focused down, and now that all these interceptors are out on the field, it's going to have a hard time attacking him with these few Hydralisks. I do have more and more carriers being made. It looks like he's getting out Corruptors as well as Missile Attack level 3. So I do take down that Hydralisk Den. That was my goal. So now I feel a little bit more safe from the Hydralisks. He's not yet thrown up another. He's going to try to push in, focus down that low carrier, so a good pick on his part. But these interceptors are still just out doing damage. Just anytime they go back into the carriers, I'm trying to launch them. The Hydra is doing damage to the interceptors, but again, I don't really care right now. As long as they're not attacking the carriers, I'm good. So 4 more carriers here, just pumping out interceptors out of those. I do keep them in my base here. I want to make sure no Zergling run by or Hydralisk attack is going to hurt me in my main. So at this point, if we look at the income tab, he's still at 1600 now, and I'm still pretty low, so I just did not keep up much in the income. Now he's going to push in with these Corruptors. This could be enough to take out these carriers. Going to try to focus down these Corruptors one at a time. If you see these carriers, I do have queued up attacking one carrier or one Corruptor at a time. I'm finally able to take those down. He did use Corruption. Actually, no, it looks like that's just the Vespian gas showing through on that carrier, so it looked like he had Corruption. I did not see him actually use Corruption or Neural Parasite the entire game, so those are 2 things that really could have helped him there. So finally going to push out with these carriers, at least I should, as I am just cleaning up his main, and it looks like MilknKookies. Maybe going to go have some MilknKookies and try to feel better. So I was able to do some Phoenix Harass early on, and then I was able to transition not into a gateway army or anything, as you see another 4 gateways that weren't created into warp gates here, or into Robotics Bay. I did finally go Fleet Beacon and carriers, getting up 4 Stargates, and learned a lot about how to use carriers this game. Towards the end, I was really trying to use all the different terrain features of the map, and able to take down those Hydralisks as they were ground army. So I feel like I did a pretty decent job. Again, my macro really slipped early on as I was harassing with those Phoenix, but hopefully it kept him bottled up and he didn't really pressure me or make me pay for my macro mistakes. I got on bases much too late. I should have been on my 2nd a little bit earlier, my 3rd earlier, and then maybe even a 4th. I did send a probe down here, but I think he got intercepted by his army in the middle. And I had no warp prisms to try to take any of these bases either. So just sort of turtled up a little bit, used those Phoenix for harass, eventually got out the carriers with great upgrades, and was able to take down this Hydralisk army. So hopefully you and I both learned something from this map. I did enjoy the fact that I was able to go air successfully against another diamond level player. So if you have any comments on my play, on the commentary, maybe on his play, something he could have done or I could have done better, go ahead and feel free to leave those. As always, if you enjoyed this cast or any of my other casts, go ahead and hit the subscription button, as I will try to bring more and more casts pretty consistently over the next several weeks now. MLG Dallas, the national championships, are coming up this weekend, starting today on Friday, so I will be casting those. It's going to be a great time, so look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and leave some comments. Thanks. Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2